thanks a lot for joining me for my shopping list ideas for this month. These are some products that I've personally been loving, and I think you'd really enjoy them too. Some of them are some things that are sort of new to me, and then there are some of them that are kind of like rediscovered favorites. And I'm going to kick this off actually with a couple of mascara favorites that I've been coming back to time and time again. And when I get a question about like, what's your favorite drugstore mascara, these usually come into play in some way. And so the first one is Almay's Get Up and Grow Mascara. Something I love so much about this is, number one, the formula is not too terribly wet. And if you don't have a lot of lashes, like I don't feel like I have a whole big forest of lashes on there, I feel like this more easily kind of grabs everyone and makes them stand out. The brush is super thick. This was an Emily Award winner mascara, but something that kind of brought it back to my attention was lately, if I try a new mascara and it feels like a little too wet or it didn't really, you know, do for my lashes what I thought it would, I'll top it off with some of this and it will kind of like correct that not so good or too wet mascara, because this is just the perfect consistency. And then for lower lashes, I just want to remind everybody, Lash Discovery, it's getting to be that season where maybe you're even more concerned about what you do on your lower lash line if, you know, you're outdoors a lot or whatever. This does not smudge on me at all. It's a teeny tiny great little brush there, so it's great for getting, you know, some definition on your lower lashes but not too much product. Another eye thing that is something that I actually did a video on, a tutorial with about a year or so ago, and it's the NYX Bronze Smoky Look. It's a little palette here. It's absolutely perfect for travel because, I mean, the shadows aren't too big, and there's a close look at what they are like. You've got some matte and some shimmer, and then there's a little trap door in the bottom where you've got some glosses too. But this was kind of a rediscovered thing for me because I love these bronzy colors. I'm wearing them today. I just think they're very flattering for all kinds of eye colors, and these shades are just really saturated, great neutrals here. There's a look at those. Those are the ones I'm wearing today. I've got this lightest shade like in the inner corner. I've got this shade right here on my lid and this shade in the crease. So I just love the look that that created, and it's something that I use day to day for just a basic look too. Now, I cannot say enough about this brush. This is such a cool brush. It's from Coastal Scents and it's the BRC S06. Kind of a crazy name there, but this is what the brush looks like, and you might instantly be seeing it and comparing that to another brush you might have in your collection. It's kind of pinched right here at the top, so it's making it kind of, you know, skinny from the side, but it's a little bit wide. I want to compare it to this one that I have from Sigma, and you can see they're like a similar shape here. The way they're pinched in, but if you look at them sideways, the Sigma one is a little bit fuller. It's just a bigger brush, and this one being just a little bit smaller but in that same kind of concept, I love this brush for two reasons. If I want to apply a shade to my crease, I hold it so it's kind of going long ways here, and I can apply it, and then I can also just turn it up sideways and that can blend it out, and it's not too big, you know what I mean? Sometimes I think people struggle with blending their eyeshadows, or they feel like, you know, this shouldn't be so difficult. Well, sometimes the issue is that the brush you have is like too big for your eye shape or whatever, and it just isn't fitting, and it's giving you not enough control. This gives you so much control to just get the shadow right where you want it, but then at the same time you can blend it out, and I used it for this look for the crease. It hasn't shed a bit. It's extremely soft. Even after cleanings and everything, it's still held up very well in terms of just the construction of the brush, but it's different than anything I have, and it's just kind of that unique kind of pinched in shape, so it's just a little bit flat but still extremely good for blending. I get a lot of questions about great concealers for the under eye area, and I've been using one a lot lately that I just really can't say enough about. It's from IT Cosmetics and it's called Bye Bye Undereye. Now this is the same brand that makes that great contouring palette, the My Sculpted Face palette that I love, and my shade is medium in case you're wondering, and this has phenomenal coverage for the under eye area. I know I've talked about Laura Geller's Real Deal Concealer as being really good coverage. This has that coverage level, only it's not quite quite as dry. I just want to be able to show you what the texture is like here. You can see it's extremely creamy. A little bit goes a long way. It just does not take a lot to do the job. And this is marketed like on QVC as something you could do like all over your face if you needed a whole lot of coverage. You know, you could use it in big parts of your face, not just the under eye area. I used it on under eye. I've used it on a couple of spots here and there. And the one fault of this is that I have used it around my nose, and I did get a little bit of some breakouts happening there. So I'm going to steer clear of using it around my nose anymore. But the under eye area, this is just absolutely great. Love the coverage level. Love how it doesn't, you know, put it on and then it doesn't get dry and kind of accentuate fine lines and things like that. It's just very, very good texture and very good coverage. Now, this face product is very affordable, very easily accessible in the drugstore, and it's from Maybelline, and it's the Shine Free Pressed Powder, and my shade here is Golden. And what I've been using this for is to kind of help out my T-zone during a time of year where I feel like I start to get a little bit oily. I have like seasonal skin. I feel like it's pretty normal throughout the winter, but then the T-zone kind of comes back to life around this time of year. And so I will just, like, after I've got my foundation, my concealer on, I'll kind of just pat this like around my T-zone, and then maybe even use a different kind of powder just all over my face. This is just a little bit light, and it actually works rather well in the center of the face. You know, if you're thinking about highlighting a little bit, it's practically like that mattifying powder and the highlight in one, and it serves me very well. I mean, I've had my makeup on for quite a while already today, probably for a good, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours, and I feel like it's still held up very well staying power wise. And so this has been something I've just been going to as I first do my makeup in the morning, and it really extends the wear of what I have on. And this blush from NYX in Cinnamon, it looks orange, basically like a matte sheer blush. Like, I've got it on today, and I love the peachy glow it gives. It's not as intense as it looks here, but it just is a great kind of coral peach look to the cheeks. I've been reaching for this blush a whole lot lately. I also want to talk about sort of a body bronzer thing, and I know I've mentioned this one before, but this is from Laura Geller. It's the Baked Body Frosting in Tahitian Glow, and I realized just how cool this was when I was doing a wedding recently, not just the bride, but all the bridesmaids, and I kind of handed this off to them and said, you know, if you want to get a little more of a glow around your shoulders, your arms, you know, you can use this. It comes with a puff. You can use it wet or dry. If you're using it dry, you can just use a big kabuki brush to swirl it around, and it gives not only like a deeper tan, but also a little bit of the shimmer. And if you use it wet, it's going to be a little more long wearing. The shimmer is going to be a little more intense, so just be aware of that. In the season where, you know, your shoulders may be exposed a little more, you can even put this on your legs and they will just totally glow and look really great. Even if you want to correct like a sunless tan gone wrong, you can almost blur the edges of something you've, you know, done wrong with self-tanning when you use something like this. Another great thing about this is that Laura Geller's products, these baked products, last forever. I've had small size products like her mini size baked stuff, and that lasts a long time. Of course, the regular does too, but this is a very large thing. And I've had this for, it was once domed up a little bit more, but I've had this for a good long time, and I've got plenty of it left. So that's the Baked Body Frosting from Laura Geller. I almost forgot I have one more thing to mention here, and it's kind of a series of pink lipsticks that I wanted to tell you about. At first I was just going to tell you about one, and then I thought, well, maybe, you know, I should do a little range here because I like several of these, and they're all from MAC, and they are just some fantastic pink lipsticks. One is called Speed Dial, and I'll swatch it here for you. It's kind of like a classic wonderful carnation pink, just like straight up great pink to have. You know, it's a cream sheen, so there's no shimmer in it. It's just really nice and creamy. The other one is also a cream sheen, and it is called Hot Gossip, and it looks very different from Speed Dial if you were to hold the two up side by side, but when I swatch it together, you can see it's just maybe a little more of, has just maybe a hint of a lilac tone to it, a little bit of mauve maybe, slightly deeper, but still, you know, just a really nice fresh pink. So I love both of those, but if you want something even deeper, more of a berry, Craving, which is an amplified lipstick, is phenomenal, and that's right there. So there's Craving, there's Hot Gossip, and there's Speed Dial. They're just a great range of pinks. I love the texture of these, the way they last on my lips. They feel good, they smell good, they have that light kind of vanilla scent that MAC lipsticks have. I was initially just going to mention Hot Gossip because I've worn that one a lot lately, but then I thought, you know, if somebody wants to go a little lighter than that, they can go for Speed Dial, or a little more berry, they can get Craving. So hope that was informative there for you on the pink lipsticks. But thank you so much for watching this video and for always supporting my videos. I appreciate all of you who take the time to subscribe, watch, keep up with me on Twitter and Facebook. It is much, much appreciated. So have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.